Welcome back, everybody, to Tartle Cast. If you don't follow us on Twitter, follow us on Twitter.
Alex, it is so important. It is at Tartle Official, TARTLEOFFICIAL. It is Twitter. Subscribe. We'd love to have you do that.
Yeah. I mean, we tweet all the time. So if you
All
just
the
want a
time.
quick little blurb, you know, we'll always be in your face.
Yeah, exactly. And then we put the shows on there and stuff like that.
Yeah, we're not putting anything useful on. I mean, not.
Yeah, we
useful.
are putting nothing useful on
We
there.
put nothing useful on our feed.
So I want to get into this because we're all, I don't want to.
I freaking bet you do.
Alex, we're always bashing, it seems like sometimes, and I don't like, you know, and I always think of that story that you told of the monkey who was carrying the stick.
Yeah.
And he was totally in his monkey mind, all excited, getting ready to rip some heads off, literally.
Yeah, down in Gombe
Yeah.
in Africa.
And that documentary you watched, horrific. But, you know, we see companies and we see them like, we're going to make profit.
I'm sorry.
Ha, ha, ha.
I'm thinking about that. I'm picturing the scene of him dragging this huge branch.
Yeah, he's like a serial killer, right?
Kills me every time.
I'm going to kill him.
Oh my god, he's just hauling dude with this branch, like acting like
ready.
he's all big and tough.
Yeah, he's ready.
Oh gosh, all right.
He was ready to kick some ass.
I'm stabilized.
So, you know, and so we, you know, we look at companies that are doing, you know, basically eating up humanity, ripping humanity's heads apart.
They're just yeah.
But there are companies that are doing good. And we had talked about this the other day, is to create a balance, because we want to have a balance in everything that we do.
Yeah, we got to talk about
and
good
we want to
bad.
share companies that are doing well. And this is one, Genentech is prioritizing the health of people and the planet. How are they doing that? Well, first, let's know a little bit about the company. It's G-E-N-E-N Tech. So hopefully it's Genentech. They were founded more than 40 years ago and remains a place where bright minds come together to develop medicines for people with serious and life-threatening diseases, such as cancer and multiple sclerosis. As a healthcare company, it's especially important for the organization to model change required to improve the health of every person.
So
Notice that they said to improve the health.
Yeah.
Health.
I haven't
That's
heard-
true health care.
I haven't heard one thing about profits.
Oh, no, you're not. This is the beautiful part.
How do we get the smartest minds in the world together to keep people healthy?
Now, I want to read this again. Think about this. It's especially important that the organization, they're thinking of themselves, you know, think of an organization like systems all put into play.
Yep.
To model, good word, the change required to improve the health of every person on the planet.
So what they're saying is we need to be flexible to how people are changing and how disease is changing. And we have to meet people there as a flexible company to say, we're here to help you in your current state.
Yeah, and number 5 on our Big 7 is public health. So we're right in agreement with them. If you want to know more about the Big 7,
5, yep.
we're going to have our new update on tartle.co.
Yep.
It'll be out probably by the time this episode's out.
Yeah, definitely.
It's going to be out here very soon. And you can go on there and read about number 5, public health, number 7, and how you can share your data to help public health. But Genentech has embraced this responsibility to have better health care for the planet.
I love that word, responsibility.
And they embraced it.
yeah.
That's the great word.
They're like, we need to be responsible for helping out.
First, publishing greenhouse gas emissions and water use reduction goals back in 2006, and setting aggressive environmental sustainability goals around energy, water, waste, and transportation impacts ever since. So in 2006, it said, we're going to make these issues, you know, we're going to make sure that we have these sustainable goals as far as a business, the way we use energy, you know, in our big buildings, the way we use water, and how our employees are transported.
15 years ago, these guys woke up. I use guys as an agnostic term for gender. I don't want to offend here.
And so for its parent company, Roche, or R-O-C-H-E, Roche, has been recognized for over a decade as one of the most sustainable companies in the Dow Jones Sustainable Index for environmental, economic, and social performance.
I mean, it is Roche. I mean, Roche owns a...
R-O-C-H-E.
Yeah, Roche.
To reinforce Genentech's long-term commitment to environmental sustainability, I want you guys to listen, this is really cool. It has developed a 2050 zero emissions roadmap.
For Genentech?
Yeah, by 2050. Now, here's what they've pledged.
Tell them to do it
Because they said they
faster.
pledged.
It's 30 years.
Pledged to reduce the company's environmental impact by 50%. So they've already reduced it. Now they're going to reduce it another 50% before the end of this decade. So before the end of this decade. So they have, 9 years to do it?
Yep.
And achieve zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050.
That's amazing.
To accomplish these goals, the company is evolving the way it manages transportation and its campus environment and actively engaging employees at all levels of the organization in the process.
Okay, and so that's phenomenal, right? So F. Hoffmann LaRoche AG is a Swiss multinational healthcare company. So Swiss I can't even say it. Screw it. But here's the point. Genentech is an American biotechnology company, and it's a wholly owned affiliate of the Japanese biotechnology company Chugai Pharmaceuticals. So Chugai, I guess, is underneath Roche, and then underneath Chugai is Genentech. So shout out to the American branch,
right,
which is 2 steps away, 2 degrees away from their parent Roche here. But they do some, quite amazing stuff.
Listen, I want you to listen to this statement.
Please give me the statement.
This is such a beautiful statement, and I want you to talk about this. Genentech, the company, believes that living in a clean, safe environment is a basic human right.
Shouldn't it be? Should people be living in filth and disease?
Well, we don't care as long as you're producing for us.
But that's a lot of the mindset in a lot of places.
Yeah, your widget to make profit off of.
Your rubber trees.
Yes.
I don't want to get into that.
We have a whole episode on it.
Yeah. So, but that's the point. I mean, it's not even a belief for them. Genentech guys, just be matter of fact about it. You don't have to believe. For a fact that is the state of life people should be in because that keeps them healthy. And if you really feel like you need to be flexible in the pharmaceutical technology that you're delivering, this biotechnology, well then. You got to meet them at their house and you got to meet them in the hospital.
They even they have electric Janina buses, like in San Francisco. So they pick people up on these electric buses that they have.
Yeah, Novartis has a whole campus in Jersey that does the same thing.
Yeah, and so this is the way that they're. They also say that they're doing training to help people become good neighbors, and have change in their communities.
It's interesting.
So it impacts beyond the campus.
They're stepping beyond just the campus of biotechnology. They're like, well, how do we then, if we want to meet people with our technology at their homes, how do we take our employees and how do we help elevate them in their communities? It's, it's a very positive systemic effect that they're trying to create.
Yeah, and this is a pretty heavy-duty article. So maintaining a sustainable campus environment, that's how they do it with transportation.
Yeah.
Is with the electric buses. And they're going to be having plug-in hybrids by 2030 on all their sales vehicles. They have like 1,200 sales vehicles. Genentech campuses are designed to enhance health, resource, conservation, and energy performance. About 95% of the electricity the company uses on its campuses from clean sources. And by 2025, it will be 100%. So that's in 4 years.
Yeah.
As an early adopter of WELL Building Certification, WELL, I've never heard of that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we'll have to look at that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be curious to see what that is. As an early adopter of WELL, WELL Building Certification for new building construction, 4 of the company's newest buildings were developed according to green building principles, with an emphasis on sustainability, well-being, community, and innovation. The Genentech Child Care Center is a LEED Platinum building. 2 others are
platinums. Yeah,
LEED gold buildings, and one is a WELL gold building. So this WELL must be part of this. The company is retooling a number of its older buildings to meet the criteria for Fitwel Champion status.
Yeah, what's cool about this? So they get certain subsidies for being environmentally friendly with that LEED certification, but it's just nice to see that the data that they're using in terms of the environment is helping guide them towards better decision making.
Right.
So remember how we use this as an example? For everybody, it's like we need to use this data to guide our future. Well, Genentech has smartened up and they're doing what they can because, again, they're the ones with the resources that have the ability to do this once they get the data in their hand.
Dude, think about this. Their campus alone in the last 3 years has saved 78 million gallons of water through limiting irrigation and reusing reverse osmosis reject water.
Yeah, and so if you think about that, remember
78 million gallons, one corporation.
So that means they're actually saving things that they feel are a human right.
Yes.
Right? So like,
what if every corporation decided to do this and each corporation was saving 78 million gallons of water? How much water would we have then?
It's just so much clean water.
Yes.
Just leave it alone. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, and so they engage their employees in caring for our planet. They have Act Together, Act Now, a website, which explains how the actions we take as individuals and the power of the actions we take together make a difference.
How many times do we got to say? So this is just a great example of that data and the power of collective data coming together. When we take control of this thing that's ours, and we share that, there's a lot of good that happens with it. And when we get millions of people coming together, or even smaller amounts of groups, that collective power of that data can help define what the future looks like.
Yeah, they also ask their leaders to set annual sustainability goals in categories where employee actions and business policy can make a difference.
They shouldn't have asked them. They should have told them.
Yeah. But I mean, I just see this going in the right direction. Leaders budgeted for 2021 with the objective of cutting greenhouse gas emissions from the air travel by 50% from the 2019 levels, which COVID helped them do that. But, obviously they all probably automatically save that just based off of COVID.
Yeah. There's one thing I got to talk about here, though. In January 2015, Genentech signed a $60 million deal with 23andMe that gave Genentech access to the genomic and patient-reported data held by 23andMe.
That's crazy. So
23andMe, it's not your freaking genome.
How much did that cost?
$60 million. Just for access. 23andMe, that's not your genome. Your business should be selling the kits and then helping deliver that data back to people. It is not your business to sell that data.
So Genentech has mine, because I did 23andMe. So Genentech has my...
Genentech has access to your thing.
Yeah, to my DNA.
Get a class action lawsuit together.
Genentech has grown tremendously over the past 40 years, but its clarity of purpose, approach to valuing and respecting each individual, besides when they get data, and dedication to giving back.
Genentech, we knew you were going to slip somewhere. We found it.
The company is proud to be a leader in the collective effort to solve the global environmental crisis and continue to its part in creating a cleaner, healthy, and more sustainable world. So environmental-wise,
you're doing great.
They're doing great.
Data respect-wise, you and 23andMe, come on, guys.
Yeah, you guys need to have we would love to have either one of you, 23andMe or Genentech. We'd love to have you on the podcast.
Yeah, let's come talk.
We always ask all these companies, we always want all of them to come on the podcast.
Why does nobody want to talk with us?
Yeah. And we're going to have a conversation where we're going to be unifying.
Yeah, of course. We're not here.
We're going to be
not a combative thing.
And, I don't want to have, I would never want anybody to feel like we're imposing on their free will in a conversation that we have.
Let me know what your perspective is.
We would even send questions over.
Yeah.
They can review them.
Tell me what your perspective is.
Yes.
Come on here. Let's dialogue about it. And I'm going to hit you with some hard logic.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, is that ethical? Is that moral?
Right.
Is it egalitarian? Is it unifying? Does it respect the person's value? Okay, well then,
I think it's just going to be you and I, Alex, on the podcast from here on out.
Do you meet that criteria? Well, no. I guess we don't have any guests.
Oh, Lord.
Well, Genentech, you have 50% of the picture. Let's hit it home with the data,
but
right?
You're giving an example for other businesses with these big campuses.
Yeah.
Because the scientists have to work at the labs. They can't work from home, obviously.
No, and just because you got a big campus doesn't mean you're doing a lot of great stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So we love that.
Just because you got the bigger stick
doesn't
mean you're the strongest.
No, that monkey grabbing it.
But Genentech, shout out.